thank you so much again for joining me on this channel. As always, I'm very grateful for all your previous views, likes and subscriptions. I'm really excited today, doubly so because I've got a brand spanking new microphone so you can hear me in greater clarity and I can bore you in greater clarity. And also we have a recommendation, and I like doing recommendations, and someone wanted me to have an exploration of places of worship, of temples in Hinduism. So as always, I went to Google and used the define function, and the word for temples in Hinduism are mandirs. Okay, mandirs is the plural, mandir is the singular, and it literally means a dwelling place. Okay, mandir, that's the definition. And of course a dwelling is a place that is home, a place where one feels safe, a place that is permanent. And that is really telling, and I think that's something just to be thinking about when it comes to Hinduism. That what does calling it at home tell us, sorry about the spelling mistake, about the Hindu faith? Well, I think it tells us a few things, and one of those of course is that we think of a home as being welcoming. We think of a home as well as being a place where people feel safe. I think we just need to have a little bit of an exploration into thinking about worship in Hinduism. The word for worship is puja, and more often than not in the Hindu faith, believers will have in their homes a shrine. Might be a corner of a room where gods and goddesses are worshipped. And indeed, more often than not, it's the women of the household who are often there tending and maintaining the shrine. They are the spiritual guardians, if you will. They are the religious wardens, and they are there to keep stewardship of the family's faith. And I think that's very interesting, that they have such a significant role in preserving the spiritual care of the family. And I think another thing just to be aware of too is about the images that we see in Hinduism. They're not statues, they're murtis. Okay, and a very significant difference is that they contain the essence of the deity. They are infused within it. What that means is that at the mandir, okay, you literally have this idea that the gods and goddesses are in their home. Okay, so the dwelling is their home. And I think what was also worth bearing in mind is when we talk about being infused, or the essence of, it's rather like when we have, I was trying to think of a good analogy, the best I could come up with, and you are all much better at thinking of this than I am. Think of chocolate. You might have mint flavoured chocolate or orange flavoured chocolate, and you might be able to see, okay, the mint flavouring they've put in or the orange flavouring you've put in, but you can taste it, you know it's there, it's within that chocolate. And it's the same here with the murtis. They are infused with and contain the essence of the deity. They are not just statues. There is something very, very real about them for the Hindu believer, and they are treated with utmost respect. Okay, as you can see, this wonderful murti of Ganesh has been given a garland of flowers and offered some prasad, which is some holy food, and that just gives you an idea of how sacred they are. One of the reasons why you will go to a mandir is for worship, and a particular ceremony is the Arty ceremony. I've been very fortunate to go to a mandir, and when you arrive, one of the things you usually take your shoes off as a sign of respect. It's a fairly standard thing, isn't it? You might go to your friend's house for tea and their folks say, oh, do you mind just taking your shoes off? In Japan, it's very important to take your shoes off. Just a simple sign of respect. And for Hindus, they believe that the universe is made up of 5 elements. That's earth, water, air, fire and ether. And fire plays a central role in the Arty ceremony. By the way, this isn't every single aspect of the Arty ceremony. I've just tried to bring some of the core elements. But first of all, a conch shell is blown, and that signifies the start of the ceremony. There'll be some bhaja, some chanting of hymns, and then bell to wake the Murtis, inverted commas, to say, look here, we're ready to begin. As believers, we are ready to start puja. And then the lamp is waved in front of the Murtis, a lit lamp. And that's really interesting that fire takes a central role. It symbolises purification. It can symbolise shining a light through the darkness. You have this idea of Moses and the burning bush in Judaism. Pentecost for Christians, the Holy Spirit descended in fire. It's a really powerful symbol across many religions and many cultures. And then, after it's presented to the Murtis, the worshippers then receive the lamp, and they are encouraged to, if they wish to pass their hands over the flame and receive the blessing, okay, of the Arty lamp. And then, depending on how large the mandir is, you might walk around in a clockwise direction around the Murti. And I think also some worshippers will perhaps throw some coins or some money into the tray of the lamp, just to as an offering. But one of the things that really struck me is that all are invited to receive the blessing of the Arty flame. And I think that's absolutely incredible. What does that tell us? Well, I think it tells us a few things, doesn't it? That in the mandir, all are welcome. Okay, it doesn't matter if you've been a Hindu your whole life or you're a hard-nosed atheist who had nothing to do with religion at all. It really is a place of being there for everybody, because it's the home of the gods, and the gods want to welcome you in. I cannot emphasize that enough. It's a home. And I think as well, compare and contrast that with other religious practices. So for example, in the Islamic faith, on the Hajj, only those who are Muslims can go into Mecca. In the Roman Catholic Christian tradition, only those who are Roman Catholic can take the mass, take the bread and the wine. You may think that's a good thing to be inclusive. Some of you may think, well, actually, is it hypocritical to take part in a ceremony that you don't really believe? So that's something just to ponder upon as you do your own investigation and research into Mandirs. Another thing to say as well, which is some other sort of key words, is Darshan. This is to present yourself to the Murtis, and this is one of the reasons why Hindus will go to the mandir, just to present yourself. Okay, here I am, and some will prostrate themselves, which is to go down the floor. Others will, as you said, make financial contributions. It's really a great community feel. There is that sense of all together being in awe and wonder. And also, don't forget that mandirs are big, busy places for some of them. So it's an act of service as well, seva. So some will help out in the mandir in whatever way it may be, whether it's from the duties of cleaning through to helping to fundraise for it, or the various organisations that can come out of a mandir. So seva, this idea of service, very important idea in the Hindu faith. Remember as well that one of the aims of a Hindu's life is to achieve moksha, to break free from samsara, that cycle of birth and rebirth, so become one with Brahman. I suppose that asks another interesting question as well, is that why have a place of worship at all? Well, certainly in the United Kingdom, when Hindus started to arrive, particularly after World War II, to help support Britain in restructuring itself after World War II, many early mandirs were homes that were converted, or and so forth, and even up until the 1970s, when Ugandan Hindus would coming into the UK, there was still this, I guess, this need, isn't there, for a community space. It gives you identity. It gives you somewhere safe to worship. And I think one of the best examples I can think of in terms of a Hindu temple, a mandir, is this example here. And it's the Sri Swaminarayan Mandir in London. And all you've got to do is type in Neasden Temple into Google, and you'll find this fantastic website. And I am not going to explore it to you now, because actually I want you to find out about it. But it is the first traditionally built Hindu temple outside of India. It was built, and this is its built in 1995 in the UK, and it is just an extraordinary piece of work. And one of the best ways of finding out and learning about a faith, a religion, is actually to hear from those who practice it, or to explore their own faith community websites and so forth. And there's also online services you can go to as well. It really is a stunning piece of work, and I would encourage you to have a look at that as well. Anyway, as always, I am very, very grateful for your time, and I hope that there's been something here for you today. And as always, enjoy your learning.